On the 10th of November 2008, Business Link delivered its first annual Marketing the Art of conference at the Sage Gateshead. The following is one of 6 workshops that were recorded on the day in front of a live audience. Business Link is proud to present Chris Mays delivering How to Untangle the Web.
My name's Chris Mays. I'm here today on behalf of the Chartered Institute of Marketing, and my presentation is How to Untangle the Web for Business. So we're going to look at who you are in business, what you do as businesses, why you've got a website, what are you going to do with it, how you can improve it, where it's going to appear, and when things will happen. Your motivations for today may also vary, and I think it's maybe important to wear those points sooner rather than later. We've got a slightly bigger group here than I might have expected. I've built the presentation today as a workshop, so maybe a few of you would be brave enough to say what it is that you're hoping to get from your website and why you're here today. Any volunteers? Please.
I've been buying a lot of domain names recently, and what I'm hoping to achieve from my websites are mainly from sales, from Google search, the image that I'm trying to get across for the company, the type of clientele that I'm marketing my website for, because it's quite a diverse range.
Right, okay. Any other takers? Anybody else got any specific ideas about what they're hoping to achieve today?
Getting up high on Google search.
And getting up high on Google.
Yes, that's very important too.
Okay, is that what you're all here for? Hoping to get high on Google search? No? What are you hoping for?
I think I work for a civil engineering company, so we're never going to... B2B business is very different from what you're looking for, and ours is an information-giving website, but more importantly it's about image and what we're portraying on that website and what people think they're going to get from the service from us. I think what I'm looking at is using the website as a template for marketing in terms of e-marketing and things like that. So using a different sort of marketing to get to B2B clients.
So you're maybe looking to build an audience and to keep them coming back and to send out newsletters.
That sort of thing.
One of my primary aims is to engage more effectively with our various audiences. I work at the Centre for Life in Newcastle.
Right.
But it's also being realistic about how you resource things effectively. So if you are blogging, if you are using social networking sites, how you keep on doing it properly. I think it seems not relatively easy, but sort of straightforward starting things, but obviously there's no
maintaining it can be very difficult. Yes, and keeping a website fresh is what nowadays counts for Google. If your website is static, it might be a great website, but unless you're refreshing it every now and again, you start to fall down those rankings, so you have to keep throwing new stuff at it all of the time. And I think the resourcing it's something that in my company I'm quite lucky to have quite a lot of resources that I can pull on in different countries, but it's still very difficult to find the resource to do that. Okay, so we've got a diverse range. We've got some business to consumer, business to business, which is maybe close to where I started. Start with what you know best, and I think you have to start with your own business. You have to understand what your business objectives are and what the key issues are in the outside of your own markets. In my business, we've got a range of diverse international competitors, and if I don't understand those and reflect those back into my website, I end up with a website that is tangential to where my business is going. If you don't really understand your business, you're really wasting your time with a website. A website is only a part of the strategy. If you didn't understand it, it would be like trying to decorate a house for a friend when you're colourblind and couldn't climb ladders. First, you have to know what you're communicating. You have to understand what it is that people should have an interest in. Whether you're in debt collection or business to business, you have to understand what it is that people will want from your site. You have to understand what it is that you're trying to communicate. The really, really powerful, simple message from any strategic standpoint, the one message I'd like you all to take away from here today is understand your business, understand what it is you want to communicate. Because it's all too easy to get sucked into the details, the tactical side of building a website, of maintaining each individual page. You have to remember why it is you've got a website. It's back to the first question. Why have I got a website? You've got a website to create an image, to provide support for an umbrella organisation, to bring people to the market so they can effectively be recruited to sell a product. And there are different sorts of businesses, and they all have different needs with websites. So if you've got a weak platform and you don't understand your business, you've really got the potential to waste a lot of money, to put a lot of resource into it. Let's just say you're wanting a website that sells books, and what you end up with after £30,000 is a website that doesn't sell books. You've wasted a lot of money, you've created a place that's not really going anywhere for your customers. But if you've got a strong platform, you spent the money in the right place, you're going to have those people coming to you. So why do people create a website? Most people here search for things on the net. It continues to be a driving force for business development at almost every level. And we can see that clearly in Google, which is one of the world's most successful companies and amongst the world's strongest brands. And the money comes for Google from advertising revenue. Most of us will remember life without the internet, but it's actually quite hard to imagine living without it now. And increasingly, consumers and businesses are using the internet to purchase goods and services. It saves time and often money and is relatively fast with fast broadband connections. What this means for the consumer and now business-to-business buyers is that they're beginning to use the internet as a first choice purchasing vehicle. Some 3 or 4 years ago, I was working with a company as a customer called Rolls-Royce, and much of their purchasing now is done on the internet. They'll send messages from their sites to your site, and if you can't receive those messages, you don't get the business. It's as simple as that. You might have a great, compelling offer physically or as a service. If you don't have the right website, if you don't have the right infrastructure, you simply can't do business with them. So if the website is giving out the wrong message, it just doesn't communicate, or if it isn't found, you'll be overlooked. Generation Y, essentially that's my daughter. Do you know what that's referring to? These are the internet generation, people born after the 80s and who have no fear of technology at all, and existing customers who have iPods, downloads, and they're expected to be entertained as well as informed by your websites. And just a further word on statistics, the rise in inline and mobile video has not dented overall TV viewing time according to a May 2008 Nielsen Online study. In fact, all types of video viewing just keep rising. Nielsen found the average TV viewer surveyed in May watched more than 127 hours of television and spent more than 26 hours online. Personally, I prefer walking in Scottish Hills and the Lake District. And that's a phenomenal amount of time online, and people are spending huge amounts of time now searching for things on the internet. They search for holidays, they search for organisations, they search for hotels, flights, cheap deals, cars. Nowadays, people don't go into a shop and do window shopping. They'll search on the internet, they'll spend an hour or two looking. By the time they're in the shop, they've already worked out which product they want, and it's just a question of whether they can physically get it on the day. So our methods of information and entertainment have changed radically over the past decade. TV is still very popular, but we've got new ways of enjoying it through things like the BBC iPlayer and downloadable content. So we don't need to sit through an advert again. That creates big challenges for admin. So why develop the website? Well, here's some bad reasons. My competitors are doing it. Well, that's probably true. Pretty much everybody's got a website, but they're not all good. Have they got it right? Have they really understood where their market is? And are they getting the right kind of business? Here's another bad reason. Everybody's going to laugh at our old site. Some old sites are very good. Amazon's been around for a while. People still buy books from it. It doesn't have to reinvent itself every 3 minutes. And some people say that you need a new site because they want some money from you. Websites can be very subjective. The true test is measuring the response from the customers that you want, your target audience. And that's going to be difficult if you haven't sketched out first where your target audience is and what your strategy is. Search engine companies getting in touch and saying, we can't find your site. Well, that's okay. I've got a karate site. Search engine companies can't find that site. That's fine. The people I want to find that site can find it. Just because search engines can't find the site, it doesn't really matter. What matters is, are you achieving your ends? So search engine companies